Here now, I will tell you, I'll give you a way, how can we find the derivation of 1 over g prime. Now, 1 over g prime. All of us know, if you have a function over g, and I ask you to find its derivation, what did we say? We say g squared and g times f prime minus f times g prime. If f now is 1, if it is 1, okay, I mean here is 1. And instead of here you have 1 and here you have 1. So the new formula, it will be down, keep it at g squared. G times 1 prime. What is the derivation of constant 1? 1 as a constant. 0. Minus 1, which is this one, times g prime. If you look here now, can you write it as negative g prime over g squared? Because it is 0. So it is negative g prime over g squared. Is it right?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
So if you have 1 over g prime, I'm asking you to find its derivation, you can use this formula. You say it is negative g prime over g squared. Or you can solve it as x raised to the power negative 2. Then you will continue and then simplify and then rewrite it as we did before. So if you have as an example 1 over x cubic, you have two ways to solve this type of derivation. You can say this is as 1 over g. So I will say it is negative g prime over g squared. Where is g? This is g. So the first step, I have to find g prime. What is the derivation of x cubic? It's a 3x squared.
X to the power 2.
So I will write up here negative g prime. That's mean negative 3x squared over g squared. Where is g? It is x cubic. So I will say x cubic squared. Then it is negative 3x cubic over. If you have now x cubic to the power 2, how can you simplify it? It's equal x to the power what?
5.
3 cubic raised to the power 2.
6.
6. It is x raised to the power 6. Then, after you simplify it, it is like this. X squared is x times x. And the down, it is x times x times x to the power 4. Cancel each other. So it will be negative 3 over x raised to the power 4. So the derivation of 1 over x cubic is negative 3 over x raised to the power 4. This is a way. Another way that you can say one over x cubic, it is x raised to the power negative 3, and it is like x raised to the power r you will say it is Rx to the power R minus 1. So negative 3x to the power, then it's negative 3x to the power negative 4, then it's negative 3 over x raised to the power 4, which are the same. So if you have 1 over x raised to the power n, you have two ways. You can find it as x raised to the power r and find the derivation, or we can use this formula that we say is in it. It is negative g prime over g squared. Both of them, you will have a correct answer. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Now, let's have a revision. Now, we say that we have this table shows me the rules of the differentiation that we said thus far. The first one, derivation of a constant f0. If there's a constant times a function, you will drop out the function, the constant outside, then you find the derivation of f, as we see here. And if you have two functions that they are added, you take the first function, or the derivative of the first function, plus the derivative of the second function. And if the function are subtracted, you will say it is the first function, or the derivation of the first function, minus the derivation of the second function. And if they are multiplied or divided, we have a rules that we talked with then about power rule and quotient rule. And if you have 1 over g prime, you will say it is negative g prime over g squared. Let's do number 10. In number 10, here we have two functions, and these two functions are multiplied. So what did we say? We say f of x first, it is x squared plus x times x squared minus x. Then the second step, we will name each function with g and h. And you will say that the power rule says that if you have g times h, it is g h prime plus h g prime. So I need to find g prime. If g is x squared plus x, so g prime, it is 2x plus 1. And if h is x squared minus x, so h prime, it will be 2x minus 1. Then after that, f prime of x is g, which is x squared plus x, times, and here you have g, times h prime, which is 2x minus 1, plus h, which is x squared minus x, times g prime, which is 2x plus 1. This is f prime. Now, if you have, then after that, you multiply and you simplify it more and more. I want now to solve number 11. Just like a revision here. Now, if you have in number 11, f of x equal 3x plus 4 over x squared plus 1. So we will name this one with h and this one with g. Then we will say now that f prime, which is h over g prime, it is g squared g times h prime minus h times g prime. This is a formula that I used, or we called it quotient rule, that I used to find if the derivation of two functions that are divided. The first step now, let's find g prime and h prime. H is 3x plus 4, as we name it here. So gh prime, it will be 3, and g prime, it will be 2x. Then after that, we said that now g squared, which is x squared plus 1 squared, then g, which is x squared plus 1, times h prime, which is 3, minus h, which is 3x plus 4, times g prime, which is 2x. And we find by that the derivation of two functions that are divided. Now let's see here in number 16. So by now, it's just like a revision of the quotient and the power rule. Now look at number 16 here. In number 16, we have two functions that are multiplied. The first one, which is 2 square root of x plus 1. And the second one, it is 2 minus x over x squared plus 3x. So the first function here, this is the first. This is now the first function. Let's name it with h. And this is now the second function. Let's name it with g. So if h is 2 square root of x plus 1, so h prime is the first one, it is 2x raised to the power half. Is it right? It is, I can write it as 2x to the power half plus 1. This one is equal to this one. So its derivation is 2 times half x to the power half minus 1 plus 0. So h prime now is 2 times half is 1. So it is 1 over square root of x. So 2 times square root of x plus 1, its derivation is 1 over square root of x. So I find now h and h prime. The second step now, we have g, and we have to find now g prime. G, it is 2 minus x over x squared plus 3x. Now look at g. It is what? It is two functions that are divided. Is it right? Yes, grade 11.
Yes, teacher.
It's divided. So here, like there's a quotient rule inside a power rule. Both of them at the same time. Quotient rule inside a power rule. So here now I need to find g prime. And to find g prime, we have to use the quotient rule. We will name it with I and j. So g prime is j squared j times I prime minus I times j prime. Then j squared, which is x squared plus 3x squared. Now j, it is x squared plus 3x. I prime, where's I? It is 2 minus x. So what is the derivation of I?
-1.
It's -1, thank you. Minus I, where is I? It is 2 minus x. Where is G prime? This is G. So G prime, it will be 2x plus 3. Then negative 1 times x squared, it is negative x squared. Negative 1 times 3x, it's negative 3x minus. Let's first multiply them. 2 times 2x is 4x, and 2 times 3 is 6. Negative x times 2x is negative x squared, and negative x times 3 is negative 3x. Then, don't forget, it's over x squared plus 3x squared. Then, negative x squared minus 3x minus 4x. We just multiply the negative sign to each other, to each all of them, sorry. Negative 4x minus 6 plus 2x squared plus 3x. Then negative x squared plus 2x squared is x squared. Then negative 3x with the 3x it cancel each other, and we have negative 4x minus 6. So the derivation of g prime is x squared minus 4x minus 6 over x squared plus 3x squared. Before I continue, is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So now I have h, and I have h prime, I have g, and I have g prime. Let's now say that. And this is g. And then now the g prime is x squared minus 4x minus 6 over x squared plus 3x squared. So I have now an h, I have now h prime, I have now g, and I have now h prime, g prime. We know that if you want to find g prime, I have to use the quotient rule, and the h prime, it's very easy. I used the techniques or the basic techniques of differentiation. Now we have to solve the problem. Here now, these two functions, h and g, are multiplied. So you have to use now the power rule. In the power rule, we say that If two functions are multiplied, you will say now that f prime, what did I do? So f prime now is h g prime plus g h prime. Now where is h? It is 2 square root of x plus 1. It is this one. 2 square root of x plus 1. Now where is g prime? It is x squared minus 4x minus 6 over x squared plus 3x squared. Is it right?
Yes. Yes, teacher.
This is for h g prime. Now plus g, where is g? Just 2 minus x over x squared plus 3x times, where is h prime? It is 1 over square root of x, which is this one. So this is now the derivation of this function. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Do you have any
Yes,
questions?
Nothing.
Now, in number 18 here, we have f of x equal x raised to the power negative 5 times x squared plus 2x times 4 minus 3x times 2x to the power 9 plus 1. Here, how many functions are multiplied?
3. 4.
4. And
4.
we know, or we have a formula that we can make a differentiation for two functions that are multiplied. So what can I do?
Take the derivation of two functions together and then multiply them by each other.
Yes, that is complicated. Another one. Let's multiply these two functions with each other and these two functions with each other. And then after that, sorry, please. And then after that, we get two functions only. Then we can find the derivation of them. So the first one, is it clear? Before I continue, is it clear?
Yes.
So the first step now, let's multiply x raised to the power 5 times x squared plus 2x. X to the power 5 times x squared, what it will be?
X to the power negative 10.
3 plus 2x raised to the power negative 4. So for these two functions, I can write them as x raised to the power negative 3 plus 2x raised to the power negative 4. The second one now. I want now to multiply them to get only one function. 4 minus 3x times 2x to the power 9 plus 1. The first step, I want you to multiply this one by 4. It will be 8x to the power 9. Then 2x to the power 9 by negative 3x. It will be negative 6x to the power 10. Then I want you now to multiply this one with 4. You will say plus 4 minus 3x. So after that, the new function is 8x to the power 9 minus 6x to the power 10 minus 3x plus 4. So now I wrote them as two functions. Then I can find the derivation now. So my new functions are, let's name this one with A and B. So A is given. Now A prime, it will be negative 3x raised to the power negative 4, which is negative 3 minus 1, plus 2 times negative 4, which is negative 8, to the power negative 5. So it will be negative 3x to the power negative 4 plus negative 8x to the power negative 5. This is for A now. This is its derivation. Now let's find B. B now, it is 8x to the power, okay, so B prime, it will be 8 times 9, 72. So you will say it is 72x to the power 8 minus 60x to the power 9 minus 3. This is B prime. Then after that, F prime, it will be B squared and B times A prime minus A times B prime. B prime, where's B? It was 8x to the power 9 minus 6x to the power 10 minus 3x plus 4 squared. And up, I will start with B, which is 8x to the power 9 minus 6x to the power 10 minus 3x plus 4 times, where's A prime? It's negative 3x raised to the power negative 4 plus negative 8x raised to the power negative 5. Now all of them minus A. Where is A? It is x raised to the power negative 3 plus 2x raised to the power negative 4 times B prime. Where is B prime? Which is this one. 72x to the power 8 minus 60x to the power 9 minus 3. Is it clear?
Teacher,
Shall I repeat?
why you make it by division, by divide?
Ah, thank you. Yes, they are. They are. Okay, so just here. So because of that, they are not divided. So delete this one.
We will multiply.
They are multiplied. So just make add and here add. So they are, I will rewrite it now here. The first function of B times A prime plus A times B prime. A, where's A? We said A, it was x to the power 3 plus 2x to the power negative
2x to the power
times, where's B prime? It is 72x to the power 8 minus 60x to the power 9 minus 3. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
So the idea here that I have 4 functions. These 4 functions, I cannot find its derivation. So what can I do? I just multiply the first 2 functions with each other. Then I will get a new function. Then these 2 functions, I will multiply them with each other and I will get a new function. After that, I have only 2 functions, 1a and 1b. I find the derivation of a, which is negative 3x to the power negative 4 plus negative 8x to the power negative 5. And also I will find the derivation of b, which is 8 times 9, 72, raised to the power 9 minus 1, which is 8, minus 6 times 10, which is 60, raised to the power 10 minus 1, which is 9, minus 3x times 1, which is negative 3. After that, I just put them using this formula, which is b a prime plus a b prime. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Shall I repeat? Yes, good, 11. I'm talking with you.
No,
Yes,
teacher,
teacher.
it's clear.
Yes, teacher.